Dear friends, let me tell you a story that happened to someone I know.
My sister Carol got furious with me for something incredibly minor. I regularly eat lunch at a hospital cafeteria near my job. She dragged our parents into it. They immediately took her side, and things spiraled so badly that she eventually decided to get revenge. I'm sorry this is so long, but the situation itself was insane. Writing it all out honestly took way more time than I expected. The thing is, I eat in the hospital cafeteria. I do this because it's close to work. I like it because it's quiet, calm, and convenient. That's it. But somehow something so stupid escalated into absolute chaos. When Carol found out where I'd been eating, she completely lost it. She started ranting about how hospital food was only for people who actually need to be there. I told her I wasn't stealing food from patients' mouths, and that cafeterias are open to the public for a reason. That didn't matter. Like she always does, Carol ran straight to our parents, and just as predictably, they backed her up immediately. They told me the hospital cafeteria wasn't a place for casual lunches and spent days hounding me, demanding that I stop going. After hearing the same lecture over and over, I've reached out to social media. That's where I learned not only that I wasn't wrong, but that eating at hospital cafeterias is extremely common. I hoped the whole thing would blow over. It didn't. A few days later, Carol called me to ask if I'd stopped eating there. I told her no. That reopened everything. My parents called, furious, acting like I was obligated to obey them, even though I don't live under their roof anymore. I reminded them that this kind of behavior is exactly why I moved out. They huffed, puffed, and doubled down. This time, Carol took it further. She tried to rally extended family to her side, clearly determined to force me to comply. That move backfired hard. Once I explained what was actually going on, my uncle tore into both her and my parents over the phone, flat out accusing them of favoritism. A cousin even started eating lunch with me at the hospital out of spite, and ended up loving it. He works nearby, bikes everywhere, and appreciated that the food was healthier than most places. When Carol found out other family members were now eating there too, she completely lost her mind. That embarrassment finally made our parents back down. They apologized to me and admitted they thought eating at a hospital was a little weird, but mostly said they felt obligated to defend Carol. I told them they'd been enabling her for years. She's been condescending, controlling, and bullying me since we were teenagers, even though I'm older, and they always protected her from consequences. I told them I was done tolerating it. To their credit, they listened. They apologized properly and forced Carol to apologize as well. She did it through clenched teeth, clearly furious. Later, they invited me to a family dinner as another apology. It felt more performative than sincere, since they told everyone about it beforehand. But the food was great. They cooked a turkey, one of my favorites. I was happily destroying a gravy-covered drumstick when I noticed Carol giggling nonstop. I didn't think much of it. After dinner, I went outside and realized my bike was gone. I'd parked it in the backyard, out of sight. I panicked. It's my only transportation. My parents were alarmed too. Carol, however, looked delighted. She played innocent, pulling the classic, "I can't believe you'd accuse me" routine. I knew how petty she was, but this was next level. I said I was going to the neighbors to check their security cameras and then call the police. Carol immediately panicked. She started crying, swearing she didn't do anything, while our parents scolded me for accusing her. I had enough. I started walking toward the neighbor's house. That's when Carol cracked and called me back inside. She admitted she'd arranged for 2 friends to steal my bike during dinner. She claimed it was just a prank, because she was angry about being forced to apologize for something she still believed she was right about. She even said I couldn't call the cops because I'm her older brother. Shockingly, our parents tried backing her up again, until I pulled out my phone and headed for the door. That was their breaking point. They ordered Carol to call her friends and bring my bike back immediately. She went to her room to make the call, whispering behind a closed door while our parents stood there looking increasingly worried. Carol kept sobbing that it was only a prank and tried minimizing everything by saying the bike was cheap. Yes, I bought it used for $50, but it's in great condition and my main way of getting around. This time our parents didn't defend her. She ended up slumped in a chair, texting her friends over and over as the minutes dragged on. Despite claiming they were just down the street, it took almost an hour for them to return. When they finally showed up, my bike was shoved in the back of a minivan, completely soaked and caked in mud, like it had been pulled out of a ditch. Their pants were muddy up to the knees. They begged me not to call the police. While recording, I asked them directly if Carol had told them to dump the bike. They broke down and admitted she'd instructed them to throw it into a pond miles away. They only retrieved it after realizing they'd been caught. Our parents were livid. They screamed at Carol until she collapsed on the floor, crying, kicking, and pounding like a toddler. I'd never seen her act like that as an adult, and it was honestly disturbing. Her friends were permanently banned from the house. She was forced to apologize again. Our dad made Carol wash and oil my bike under supervision while I cleaned the headlight. When she finished, it was dark out. She glared at me, but our parents shut her down immediately, saying they'd never been more embarrassed in their lives. I had a brutally honest talk with them about how their spoiling had left Carol emotionally stunted and unable to accept responsibility. For once, they didn't argue. My dad then quietly drove me and my bike back to my apartment and gave me money to replace my missing water bottle. Afterward, Carol's friends started harassing me via text, accusing me of overreacting. I responded with the truth and mentioned I had recordings. Word spread at her college, and suddenly people were calling her and her friends bike thieves. She locked herself in her room for days. When my parents tried blaming me again, I shut it down completely. Carol caused the problem. Carol would deal with the consequences. Now everyone's pretending it never happened. Carol and her clique avoid me. I'm fine with that. But if anything like this happens again, I won't hesitate to involve the police.
Dear subscribers and guests of my channel, would you forgive her or sue her? Was it really just a joke, or did Carol cross the line? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.